Here we go. All right, we getting this party started. Good morning, millionaires. Oh man, I feel incredible this morning. My man DJ Jamad checking in. What's up, baby? How you feel this morning, man? I know I feel incredible. Monday was good. Tuesday was better than that. I feel like I'm knocking things out on my to-do list. How y'all feel out there? Good morning, millionaires. Come on now, don't do me like that. You got to check in, baby. You got to let them know where you're from. Rep your city. What kind of business do you have? This is Free Coaching Friday, so y'all know this is a little bit different. We need to know what kind of business you have, how you running everything, what exactly you do for people. Let us know. We excited to know, you know what I mean? We really want to know not only where you from. All right, I see Nap Town's in the house. And then we want to know what kind of business you have, This is like you get to brand yourself real quick. You get to show yourself some love real quick. Let everybody know you in the house and what exactly you do for people. Why exactly do you deserve to be rich? You ever notice every morning we're like, hey man, I deserve to be rich because I consistently add value to people's lives. Well, what do you do to add value? Shout yourself out, let them know you in the house. Special shout out to everybody that's joining us on YouTube. That means a lot to us because YouTube is the one where we're actually able to monetize that thing. But it's all good. No matter where you're joining from, we still appreciate it. Let somebody know we're here. We're about to get this party started. And everybody see me loud and clear. Hey, 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 hey. All right, we getting started in less than 2 minutes, y'all. I'm excited about that. Cannot wait to see what kind of questions we have come in this morning. That's my favorite part of the week, man. Because we're here to extend the life expectancy of the entrepreneur. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I got a real special place in my heart for Black-owned businesses at that. Is that crazy? Does that make me sound crazy? Let me see something. All right. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Can everybody hear me? Yeah, it's Aisha in the house. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Or are they giving us problems? Can everybody see me? Everything looking good?
You have something special. You have greatness. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place. Please.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. Entry and exit tones are off. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody feels incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali, and I'm feeling really good this beautiful Friday morning. I hope you feel the same way. Let me see it in the comments what kind of businesses we have representing this morning. Okay, appreciate that, Taisha. So what kind of business do you have, Taisha? Let them know. Jamad, my man DJ Jamad is in the house. Y'all definitely need to get to know him. If you're watching on YouTube, you definitely want to follow him, etc., and so forth on all of his channels. But let's see it this morning. No matter if you're tuning in from the Facebook page, if you're tuning in from my own timeline, maybe you're tuning in from YouTube. Maybe you're here from Entrepreneurship, the Facebook group. It's a lot of things going on at one time. But no matter where you are, I can see you now when you put it in the comments. So let us know what kind of business you have so I can highlight you, so I can throw you on the big screen, you know, on the Summer Jam screen. And then we're going to get this party started. How was your week? How was your week? Free Coaching Friday is all about 7 different categories. We believe that the revenue acceleration cycle is what most businesses are missing. Most businesses do not have any idea how much power is actually in their business. Here, you did all of this work to start the business. You have all these good things going on where you're able to kind of like solve problems for people, and yet you have no idea how to get it out there. You have no idea how to get it out there. Man, that's a cold world. And so what we want to do is introduce you this morning to what we call the revenue acceleration cycle. The revenue acceleration cycle is a technology that I designed that makes it possible and much easier to grow the profits of any kind of business. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is. If it's click and order, if it's brick and mortar, if it's mom and pop, if it's Fortune 500, these 7 categories are so powerful that I promise you that we can grow your business significantly, even if we just focus on one of them. So real quick, I'm gonna run through 7 of them. And to kind of help you have some questions, what I did, and you can see it there in the comments of the, yeah, Chris, good morning, Queen. You can see it there in the description of this video. You'll see the different revenue acceleration cycle pieces we want to throw out there. But the first one is leads, y'all. I want you to ask yourself, how are you attracting and adding value to your perfect kind of customer? How are you doing that? How are you attracting, my man Dennis in the house? How are you attracting and adding value to your perfect customer? Anybody care to think about that this morning? Anybody care to think about that this morning? Number 2 is meaningful conversation. I want you to think about this. With meaningful conversation, it's based around this idea. Nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. So since we're talking about meaningful conversation, I want you to ask yourself, do they know you care? Do they know you care? Right? What have you learned that you need to care about? Man, that's a powerful question right there. What have you learned so far that you need to care about? Right? If you get into that place where now you know what you need to care about, then you all of a sudden know the hot buttons. You know what makes them feel powerful. You know what should have you in the position of power rather than begging. What have you learned you need to care about? Number 3 is appointments. Appointments. Millionaires, what can you do to get more appointments a lot easier? Have you put any thought into that recently? Because you can grow your whole business with just that category, right? How do you use that time to prepare? The time in between the invitation and the presentation, right? How do you use that time to prepare? We spent a lot of time on that yesterday. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet, because that's how you are going to be able to stay sharp every day. You've got a competitive advantage called Good Morning Millionaire. You're able to stay sharp every day. Every day you're able to learn something, so you get a little bit smarter and you're able to go further faster without working harder, right? Number 4 of the revenue acceleration after the appointments is the presentation. What I want you to ask yourself with presentation, what I want you to think about this morning as you're coming up with all kinds of ideas of what kind of questions you have, and like, hey, what did stop me from being number 1 this week? Why didn't I win on the level that I should win? I deserve to win. You know, what exactly is going on with me, right? Check it out. Presentation's all about how many stories do you tell that automatically knock out objections for your perfect type of customer? Think about that. How many stories do you tell? You say, Hazik, I ain't telling those stories. I'm saying exactly. I'm telling you exactly. The problem is your presentation needs work. And if you know, like I know, just working on that one category can change some things for you. All right, number 5, there's only 7 in the revenue acceleration cycle. Number 5, now you're on conversion. Conversion is your closing rate. If you talk to 10 people, how many of them end up buying from you? How many of them end up enrolling in your subscription? How many of them end up purchasing your service? Millionaires, how irresistible is your offer? I'm telling you right now, if you're sitting there saying, man, my bank account could use a little bit more breathing room, I'm asking you, how good is number 5 on your revenue acceleration? Now, if you want a little cheat sheet for this, make sure you go to We Are Millionaire Minded, put in your email address, and we'll send you a revenue acceleration cheat sheet if you haven't done that yet. Number 5 is conversion. How are you reversing risk? A lot of times in the world of conversion, people's problem is they asking the client to take on all the risk. Is that what you're doing in your business? How can we adjust that a little bit? Because I bet you if it came down to it, you would go above and beyond. If it came down to it, you'd go to the ends of the earth if something went wrong for your client. I don't care if you're working with a home-based business like I do, right? If that company does something wrong, I bet you'd make all kinds of phone calls. I bet you'd be super responsive. I bet you that you even would give them their money back if something went wrong. Why don't you mention that in your conversion process? Why don't you talk about any of that? Isn't that interesting? It's just because you haven't been thinking about your business the right way. And we're not here to tell you what to think. We're here to show you how to think. Number 6 is follow-ups, y'all. Am I losing you or is everybody with me? If you with me, then let me see revenue in the comments. Let me see revenue. Let me make sure y'all awake out there. Because what I'm saying to you is that if you focus on any of these 7 categories, much less if you focus on all 7, I'm saying if you focus on any of them, you're going to change your business. Number 6 then is what we call follow-ups. Everybody knows you're supposed to follow up when they don't buy, and we hate doing that. But what if I told you you're also supposed to follow up when they do? How do you reapproach then? What's your reapproach process? We talked about 11 guidelines of following up that you can see. If you look on the channel, make sure that you follow this page so you never miss an episode. But we talked about a bunch of ways to follow up the week before last, because we're always focusing every morning on some piece of the revenue acceleration cycle or a straight mindset, right? But when it comes to following up, I want you to ask yourself, what's your retention strategy? What's your referral gathering process? Everybody that can see my face has customers. Everybody that can hear my voice has customers. What are you doing to get referrals from them? Don't you know you can multiply profits just by turning 1 customer into 3? My God, there's only 3 ways to grow a business, right? You can grow the amount they spend. You can grow how many times they come every month, or you can grow the amount of customers. Well, one easy way to grow the amount of customers is looking at your referrals. How many of you have a referral system? If you don't have one, maybe you have a question about that this morning, right? *6 will unmute your line. Number 7 is UpSells. You can put your question in the comments. Okay. Latanya ready. My man Michael Joe is ready. Shannon ready. Miss September's ready. All right then, Maureen, good morning, Queen. Let's get it. What is your question this morning? UpSells is number 7. My question for you with UpSells is, how do you solve the problem you created with your solution? How do you solve the problem that you created with your solution? What alliances have you built that helps the client's life get easier, right? And when you're thinking of UpSells, of course, it all turned back into leads. Now you're having meaningful conversation. Now you're setting appointments. Now you're doing presentations. Now you're looking at your conversion. Now you're looking at your follow-up process. And then you're looking at UpSells for it's just a beautiful thing. Is that beautiful? Is that beautiful? All right. So if you have a question, make sure you throw it in the comments. We're going to get this party started and give us a share. Let's get some more entrepreneurs in the house. If you're on Clubhouse, obviously you can raise your hand and come to the screen. If you're on the Millionaire Mind line, you can push *6 and unmute your line. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, you can put your question in the comments and we're going to get busy with you. We're going to get busy with you. All right. Good morning, millionaires. Appreciate that, Crystal, for the shares. That's right. That's right. Okay. We got Miss Latanya Millette coming in. She was like, she had a question. Wait a minute. They starting to come in fast. I love it. I love it. I love it. Appreciate that, Mike. Michael, I see Michael know a lot of entrepreneurs. That's powerful. Okay, Latanya's like, this is Miss Latanya Millette. She's out of Chicago, I believe. Everybody say what kind of business you have in the comments too, so we can shout you out. All right, Latanya's like, man, that referral system piece kind of grabbed her. Wow, how do I start one? Isn't that crazy, Miss Millette, that a lot of us have businesses that function mostly on word of mouth, and yet we have no system for incentivizing it. We have no system for encouraging it. So when you say what kind of referral system, or how can you start a referral system, my question for you would be, what kind of business do you have, right? Because this is the whole thing. Once you understand what your perfect customer looks like, you know what kind of things they're looking for that would make them share with you. But here's the simple truth, Latanya. Most people just don't have a system at all. It's not necessarily they're looking for a way to start one, because your mind will give you all kinds of ways to start one once you decide that's the problem you're there to solve. So if you were just to ask yourself the question, what can I do to get my clients to give me more referrals? Can I see it in the comments? What are some things we can do to incentivize more referrals? Let's answer Miss Millette's question. I know we got a lot of brilliant entrepreneurs out there, and of course I could jump in and help out, but tell me some ways that Miss Millette could get more referrals. She said she does a travel business, and then she helps people with credit. What are some things she could do, y'all? I need all my entrepreneurs to help us out. It's Free Coaching Friday. She was brave enough to ask a question. Let's help her out. What are some things that she could do? My man Michael Joe said that you could give incentives. Now there's all kinds of incentives you can give. I absolutely agree. Man, what if you raffled off an iPad, right? What if you went out there and said, hey, I'm going to give away a gift card to Outback? What if you said everybody who gives me at least 5 referrals this month gets entered in a drawing for this classic car? If I sell a product that I charge enough for, I could give away a classic car. All I got to do is ask myself what each referral is worth. If I look at each referral and I say to myself, wow, a brand new customer for me is worth $500. And this person just gave me 5 of them. If they give me 5 referrals, I should be able to convert at least 2 of them. That's $1,000 per person that participates in a contest that I'm making. That's profit. So I tell you what I'm going to do, since I'll probably get 5 people to participate, and it looks like I'll be able to make $1,000 from each person. That's $5,000 I'll probably get off the contest. You know what? I can afford to spend $1,000 on an iPad for this contest where I'm going to make $5,000. So now I see I can give them an iPad. Isn't that something? Man, Crystal's like, you could speak to some companies. You could get some luggage discounts cracking. That's true. You could raffle off some luggage since you're a travel company. I love that. I love that. My man Michael Joe said you could give away some prizes. Right? What else we got? Come on, give it to us in the comments. YouTube. So that's how we could start a referral program. See, the whole play here ain't what to think, it's how to think. How many of you were just blessed by the idea that, damn, I love word of mouth, I love referrals, but I do nothing to get them cracking? How many of you know birds of a feather flock together? If you feel me on that, let me see it in the comments. Birds of a feather flock together. Well, that's just not something that you say to keep your kids from hanging out with gangbangers. That's also your customers. Your customers hang out with other people who need the same kinds of products. People with bad credit ain't hanging out with a bunch of people with 800s. Oh, I guarantee it. It's not the way this culture thing works. It's not the way this mindset, vibe, attract your tribe thing works. Listen to me. Birds of a feather flock together. Ginger came through. She said, hey, you could raffle off a vacation. It's true. You could do all kinds of things to get those referrals coming in. So that was the answer to the first question of the day. Miss Latanya Millette was like, how do I start a referral program? Let's get to some of these other questions. If you haven't asked your question yet, make sure you throw it in the comments. Let's throw it in the comments. Birds of a feather flock together, y'all. That means a whole lot of your clients are hanging out with a whole lot of your perfect customers. A whole lot of your perfect customers are right there beside your clients, and you're not even asking them, man. You want to be the first thing that crosses their mind when one of your customers talks about the problem you solve. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, let's get it. What other questions do we have this morning? I'm rolling through this thing, looking for the questions. *6 will unmute your line. If you're on the Millionaire Mind line, make sure that you like this thing. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share. Let them know where you are from. Let them know what kind of business you have. We get to just shout you out because it's Free Coaching Friday. We just get to shout you out. Scrolling through this thing, looking for the questions. That's right, Dennis. Appreciate that, man. That's the revenue acceleration cycle right there in a nutshell. Leads, meaningful conversation, appointments, presentation, conversion, follow up, and upsell. Follow up and upsell. All right, looking for the next question for Free Coaching Friday. What kept you from being number one in your business this month? What kept you from being number one? You know, this is the last Free Coaching Friday of March. Can you believe that? That's crazy. That's crazy. What kept you from being number one this month? Which one of these categories that Dennis threw on the screen for us, right? Which one of these categories, when you look at it, you're like, that's where I need the help. That's what I'm not focusing enough on. *6 will unmute your line. *6 will unmute your line. Hey.
Good morning, millionaires.
Hey, good morning, millionaire. How you feel, man?
Feeling great. Just real quick, that meaningful conversation, I just feel like is a real head buster. Like, I just wanted to put some shine on that one because I think that's going to lead to everything else. Like that's going to tell you how to move your next step. You know, so I see why it can't be number one because you got to get the lead first. But boy, I feel like it's the most important to me.
Man, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. This whole business thing that we do, y'all, is all designed around business is personal. You always hear in the movies and stuff, one of the characters will say to the other character, oh, it's business, not personal. But business is personal because when all things are equal, people would prefer to do business with their friends. And here's the cold-hearted truth of it. Even when all things aren't equal, people still prefer to do business with their friends. So I just wanted to throw that out there because at the end of the day, you know, how you begin to form that friendship, how you begin to get that rapport going is you actually get personal with them. You embrace the fact that business is personal. And in this world of automated and artificial intelligence and all of this stuff that people are trying to put out to avoid having to have a personal touch with people, maybe you separate yourself. Maybe you separate yourself in this world where everybody's trying to, you know, get as much as they can for as little as possible. And maybe you actually invest in your people, man. And, you know, to E1's point about how, you know, he understands why leads have to be first. Well, check it out. You're going to have even a more meaningful conversation with your perfect kind of customer. You're going to have an even more meaningful conversation with them because you have so much value to add to a conversation like that. So that's why the leads comes first. That's why it's always about how are you attracting and adding value to your perfect customer. All of this stuff is mindset, y'all. All of this stuff is mindset. You know, this weekend's Kaizen Academy, all we're going to talk about is kind of monetizing your brand. All these things you can do with your brand that you're just not doing. Like my man Michael Joe is on here right now. Man, y'all really need to follow him and kind of watch how he promotes his businesses. Because he and his wife have a couple different types of businesses, but he's known to be standing out there in front of one of his company's trucks while he's doing his video. And people love seeing stuff like that because he's realizing that's his brand. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of things you can do. Where's my man, Al Terry? Al Terry is going to start doing these classes from in front of his classic automobiles. You know, Al Terry not only got a closet full of, you know, crocodile shoes and matching blazers and what have you, but he also has all these classic automobiles. So he's able to do, what can you do to monetize your brand? This weekend, we're going to talk about 11 different, because what I just now, you don't know how it ties in, but I just now shared with you one of the 11 different wealth magnets that they didn't teach you in school, but I'm telling you, you got access to 3 or 4 or 5 of them. You might not have access to all 11. You might not be able to implement all 11, but these 11 wealth magnets that I'm going to give you this weekend are at least worth you looking into. I'm going to give you 7 different ways you can pull thousands of dollars out of thin air. People are always talking about how, oh, listen, you know, you can't, it takes money to make money. That's not true. I've got myself 3 or 4 situations that I'm going to share with you this weekend where I was able to make money and it took no money at all. It's just not true. So I'm going to give you 7 different ways you can pull thousands of dollars out of thin air. You know, that's going to be a lot of fun. 7 absolute requirements of 7 figures. You know, I've got multiple millionaire and even billionaire mentors. And that really does my heart good. Like it's the fact that, like, boy, sometimes you'll find yourself asking them questions, they'll answer, and you're like, man, that's the exact same way I would have did it. Or you'll tell them the way you were going to handle it, and they'll be like, that was exactly right. Boy, that tells you you're on the right track, man. But what I'm saying is this stuff is mindset. I'm going to give you 21 ways to never, ever, ever be broke again. That's worth the $25. It's only $25 until the end of this free coaching Friday. It's like $24.95. That one alone is worth, you know, a year of the tuition. You know, at that, you know, at the pro package, I think it's only $99 right now. That's worth a whole year of the pro tuition at one piece of this one class. And so that's going to be amazing. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. It's like I lost big dealing with family and friends. You know, but learned a lot from it. That's the main thing. We're going to keep on learning from it. And it's all mindset. It's all how you frame this stuff. We're going to be talking about the art of leverage, because you can even leverage your losses. It's possible to leverage your losses. As a matter of fact, that's the only way to live. That's the only way to create a life. If you can't find a way to lose, to win, even when you lose, if you can't find a way to learn and turn your life into a system where you either win or learn, then you're fighting against the clock. You ain't even got to fight. We're going to talk about attracting money versus earning money, you know, because both are important, but one of them is probably hurting you. You know, we're going to talk, it's going to be a powerful class. And as always, if you don't feel like you got 10x the investment, I'll give you your money back. It's no questions asked. We don't care about the money. We care about the mission, y'all. We really, in my estimation, keeping entrepreneurs alive is some of the most important work that we can do. Entrepreneurs push civilization forward. It's the entrepreneur that keeps mankind moving. You know, I honor you if you're an entrepreneur. I'm begging you to let me help. However I can help you, I'm here for it. And I mean that, man. So anybody else want to share any? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. This is Crystal Reynolds. Good morning, millionaires.
Woo!
Yeah. I work with a company for financial services as well as I tutor. And so say I got my stimulus check and new to business, you know, just starting my financial services up. And I also have the tutoring, but, you know, just a few clients. How should I spend my stimulus? What would you recommend me do with my stimulus check, say if it was you? Say I got, you know, like $3,000. Really, I don't know. I didn't get it yet, but, you know, just saying, you know, planning. How would you recommend someone, a new business owner, spend their stimulus?
Wow, what an important question. We're actually going to do a training on that really soon. So I'll keep everybody posted. make sure that you join our email list, wearemillionaireminded.com. Wearemillionaireminded.com, or make sure you join the text message list so that you can stay abreast of the training. But the long and short answer of it is that what you want to do with your stimulus is buy assets, not liabilities. You know, if you're going to buy liabilities, buy them with the assets. What I mean to say is the most important thing for you to understand is that money is a tool, y'all. It's not, it can be used as a weapon against you, but it's a tool. It's a tool. What I mean to say is there's this story of the goose and the golden egg. Y'all know this one about the farmer and the goose that laid golden eggs. Every morning he comes down, there's a golden egg sitting there. They're able to take that gold. First, they don't believe it's real. After they get past all the mental stuff, they're like, wow, you know, this is actual factual, right? They begin taking it and adjusting their lifestyle a bit. They begin living on a different level monetarily. They begin to expand their lifestyle. A lot of times we miss the fact that Hawkins' principle will kick in on us, right? Our bills will expand to fill our pocketbook. Our bills will expand to fill our wallet. Well, that's what started to happen to the farmer and his wife. And then one day the wife gets a bright idea. And I'm using air quotes. The wife says, man, why don't we do this? Why don't we take the goose and cut it open so we can get all the gold at once? The farmer's like, well, man, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Are you sure that will work? She was like, of course it'll work, silly man. What we do is we cut it open, we get the gold, and then we can go and buy all the nice things that we want. And they cut it open, and you know the rest of the story is legend. No more goose, they dead in the water, right? Well, what are we supposed to learn from this, y'all? Because we laugh at the farmer. We say that was crazy of you to listen to your wife in that way. Why would you kill the goose that's giving you a way to sustain? You could take anything. You could take that gold and do anything with it. This goose is here to be a tool. You could have took that goose, had some little geese babies. Now, every one of the geese babies are probably not going to have the same genetic properties as the mama, but damn it, we can try. I mean, one of them going to come through with the goose powers. One of them going to come through with the golden egg powers. Am I right? Something going to work because that's the laws of nature. But instead, what did they do? They cut it open. Well, the reason I'm sharing this story with you, right, is because your golden goose is money. Your golden goose is your dollars, man. What you're supposed to do with that dollar is send it out into the world to bring you back children. That dollar is supposed to go forth and multiply. But if every time you take your dollar and you end up cutting it open because you need yours now, you can't afford to wait on that dollar to bring you back children or bring you back a mate, right? Bring you back grandchildren, bring you back a spouse so you can be like, oh my goodness, you have my blessing to go forth, get married and bring me some grandchildren, right? Y'all see the metaphor? So with this stimulus check, y'all, what are some things you could be doing? You could be investing in a business. I think that's really, really important. You could be investing in real estate. I think that's very, very important. It's important that you begin thinking about your dollars. Like, how can I take this dollar and make it bring me back $1.25? A lot of times what we do as a dollar is we say, how can I take this dollar and let it make me feel good? What if you could adjust your feelings so that you feel good, turning that dollar into $1.25 and then eventually $1 into $5? Oh my God, then we living. Now we're in the top percentile of the people on this planet who aren't functioning off emotion, but are starting to use their logic and their critical thinking skills. Like, hey, when they say you can get 3 of these things for $10, I'm not saving money. I'm spending money on 2 extra of something that I only needed 1 of. So now they're keeping my money instead of me. They're able to take the money and send it off to get married and have children instead of that money staying in my possession. That's why I'm so passionate about this real estate program. I think that everybody should be looking at investing in real estate. If you look at Congress, 585 millionaires are making laws for the rest of us. I meant themselves. I meant us. They're making the laws for us. Yeah, right. They're making the laws for property owners. They're making the laws for business owners. They're making the laws for investors. We can either complain and say, oh, you need to raise the minimum wage, or we can get in the game. It don't take no intellect. Some of your forefathers were illiterate and they still own property. You hear me? After Reconstruction, most of us couldn't even read and we still had 20 million acres. You get what I'm saying to you? I'm saying we got to think about it differently. That's why this class this weekend is so important. That's why the programs that we offer are so important, from that business credit building. You want to talk about what to do with your stimulus? There's not a single person that's watching me that should not own an LLC. There's not a single person that can hear my voice that should not have an LLC. You should be getting yourself. Our program guarantees you $50,000 in funding. What are you doing? I don't care what kind of home-based business you got. You might be doing travel. You might be doing health and wellness products. You may be a realtor out here. You still need to be living off your LLC. Do you understand the laws and the language of money yet? So, that's two things we just covered you should be working on. You should be taking some of that money, investing in real estate education, Crystal. It's very important that you begin learning real estate investment education. Our program gives you the accountability. You've got a whole back office. It's keeping you on track with what part of your program you're in and what you're supposed to be doing out there in the real world to get a dollar going. You know what I mean? To become an actual real estate investor. They walk you into it with such baby steps. You're going to walk through wholesaling. Then you're going to walk through fix and flip. Then you're going to walk through buy and hold. The only two purposes of buying a property is either you move into a property where everybody's kind of owning things and this house is kind of crappy. So that means we're going to do a fix and flip, right? Because, hey, we're going to raise this house to the standard of the neighborhood. That means there's some money in there between where the house is and where the neighborhood is, right? That means we're going to do a fix and flip because somebody need to own something there. Or we move into a neighborhood that's full of renters. We see it's renters. All of the cars are old. Ain't no flowers in the yard. So what does that mean? That means it's time for us to do a buy and hold because we want to own the property in that type of neighborhood because that's where people rent. And then we want to make sure that it's the best kind of rent value for that neighborhood. Man, it's such a cool thing. And it's cheaper than going to college. It's cheaper than one semester in college. But the difference is you actually use the information. It is a problem to me that we know everything about algebra and calculus, but getting a job, you feel powerless. To raise your income level, you feel powerless because your only way of doing it at the job is working more hours. That's ridiculous. So the first thing I do with my stimulus is I would invest in real estate investment education. And I'm not just saying that because our company offers it. The second thing I would be looking at is building business credit. I'd be looking at, living off my LLC. I'd be looking at creating an EIN number that got some power behind it. I'd be looking at putting together and our program walks you through the entire thing. Again, I don't mean this to sound like a shameless plug, but if you're out here with a business and you don't have an EIN number, Dun & Bradstreet number, if you don't have, your 411 directory listing, all the stuff that makes you look legitimate to the world of lenders and funding, you're never going to be able to scale as well as your idea says you should. You've got $1 million idea, but you ain't going to make $1 million with it if you don't have the structure set up properly. You don't have the capacity to accept $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Why would God give it to you? That would be cursing you, not blessing you. The will to win is really the will to prepare. And our program takes you through all those I's you need to dot and T's you need to cross, and then guarantees you $50,000 in funding. So that's a business credit program that's insane. I don't care if you drive Uber. You need to be driving Uber for your own company. That's the way this country is set up. It was set up by owners and investors to take care of owners and investors. Everybody else is sheep. They're all sheep just being led to the slaughter or getting fattened and plumped up for when it's time to slaughter them. That way there's more body, there's more flesh to eat. This country will eat your flesh. You get what I mean? You have to become a shepherd or you're just going to be a sheep. because the wolves ain't gonna stop eating, y'all. The wolves are out here. Am I making sense to somebody? The third thing that I would do, so far we covered real estate investment education. We covered getting a business credit, getting an LLC set up and starting to work on your business credit. Our program guarantees you $50,000 in funding. The third thing I'd work on is personal credit. And this is not necessarily in any specific order, but you need to be working on your personal credit, because even with a tax refund, most of you are going to go to the car lot, or you're going to go and start looking at getting a home. There are loans that will put you in a home even with crappy credit. We have a home ownership preparation program that will get you in a home. We got loan programs that'll get you in there for $550, but that interest rate ain't going to be what you want. And if you don't recognize that, it's because you're financially illiterate and you don't understand what those little percentage points mean to your bank account. You don't understand what those little decimal points and dollar signs mean to your bottom line. You're just like getting nickel and dime to death, but you don't even get it. You're walking around bleeding out and don't get why you look so weak, why you feel so frail. It's just like if you were bleeding in real life. You're bleeding money, but you don't see it. You should feel a lot more robust and powerful, but you don't, because you're bleeding out and you don't even recognize it. So my point is, a lot of your bleeding is coming from interest rates. It's coming from deposits you shouldn't have to pay. And all of that is based around your personal credit score. So that's what I would do with my stimulus money. I would focus on my personal credit. I would focus on building an LLC and getting a business credit thing going on. And if all else fails, I would begin learning the world of real estate before this eviction moratorium happens at the end of June and this great wealth transfer starts. That eviction moratorium, y'all, means this. It means that if you have not paid your rent for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months, you now owe for 6, 7, 8, 9 months. That's what the moratorium means. The moratorium does not mean you now are free and clear. You know what I'm saying? The moratorium means if you owe $20,000 worth of rent and you ain't got it, they've already got the eviction papers filed. But guess what? 70, 80% of the rental property in this country is owned by individual people. 70 to 80%. A lot of them are people like me and you. They don't have a cash flow, so their eviction moratorium has been benefiting them too. But if they don't get the money from their tenant, they can't pay the money to the bank. Now that's horrible. It's horrible because it's going to set off a domino effect around it, right? But if you are prepared, it is something that you can help with, man. You can get rich while helping our community from just tanking, man. Helping the whole economy from tanking. If we spend all of this money wrong, we're going to ruin the economy, y'all. We're going to ruin the economy. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was helpful, y'all. That's going to do it for Free Coaching Friday, at least the live version. And I got to go hop on an airplane. So we're going to get out of here in general. If you have not signed up for the Kaizen Academy, you can see it right in the description of this class, or you can reach out to me on social media. This weekend's class is still only $25 for the next few minutes until we get off of here. Then it's going to go back to its normal price of $35. Of course, you can just join the academy for like $50 a month or $100 a month, depending which package you want. The Kaizen Academy for Better Entrepreneur Habits is for you, and it is designed to help you learn all the things they did not teach us in business school. A lot of times your business teacher didn't even have a business. This is the stuff that took me from homeless to millionaire, and I just want to share it with you. I love you all, and remember, man, either your mind has to expand to match your goals. You know, that's why we call it millionaire minded, because put your money where your mouth is, man. You say you want to be rich. You say you want to do all these things for your family. Put your money where your mouth is. Stop killing your golden goose and put your money where your mouth is. We also saying your money is where your mouth is, right? So that's why we call it millionaire minded. Because check it out. Either your mind has to expand to match your goals, or your goals will just shrink to match your mind. Repeat after me, millionaires. It's affirmation time. If you didn't call in yet, you can call in on a live line, you know, or you can rock with us on Clubhouse and we'll get you plugged in. But we do affirmations and visualization. It might be weird to you, but you weird to us. I repeat after me, millionaires. I am so